All right, race fans, we are back with the Monticello Esports Sim Challenge. I tell you what, I'm back in the booth with my trusty co-host Dimitro, and this is the race I've had circled. It's not a points race, but it is my home track. Beautiful Brazelton, Georgia, at a flowery branch. This is Road Atlanta GT3 cars. We've got Trent Walco on the pole, clear by a mile of second place Brian Hedian. But I'm looking for some exciting racing tonight. We're turning into 10A. We're about to be at the top of the hill under the bridge. I think it's going to be the most exciting race of the season. We've got the best cars and the best track in the South. Down the hill looking for turn 12, and we're about to take the green. Trent leads the field to the line. He's on the gas. It's green flag down the short chute, headed to turn 1. Beautiful GT3 cars. Dimitro, how excited are you for about this first lap, man?
No, this is going to be a fantastic race. First of all, views are gorgeous. And second of all, we are in some amazing cars as we come downhill for the first time today. And I know that you absolutely love this track. This is your track. And as you see, Trenton driving it well, currently at the top of the field. Look at some cars going wide on that uphill right-hander that can always catch out drivers if they're not paying attention. But Trent with a phenomenal start, almost building a gap on Nick Del Campo, and Brian Hedian going down a place. I know he'll enjoy me pointing that out as we head onto the back straight.
And Brian always loves getting a mention here on the broadcast. There's no doubt about it. But yeah, Trent looking very smooth and clean air, headed down the backstretch past the Black Flag Tower, headed into 10A. And you are right, this is my home track. I don't even know how many laps I've got on this track, but it's a bunch, man. I worked here for a decade with a racing school down there, and I love this track. It's my home track. Through turn 12, that Mercedes looks pretty awesome. Nick Del Campo's dialed in second place, headed to turn 1. Lap 1 in the books. Hedian trying to get that Acura to turn in. All-wheel drive.
I think it might be rear-wheel drive. I'm not actually fully sure what the drivetrain setup is on that Acura. But, you know, through the course of the season, we've always seen, or I guess more so during the initial showcase, you know, Brian loves this Acura, but it's not always the best car when it comes to turning and some of the other things that some of the other cars are very good at. And we're talking about cars that are very good, especially in the GT3 field. It's this Porsche right here, William Farr, dipping his tires on the outside, but keeping it together, keeping it composed, cutting in and out of internet a little bit. But as long as he stays in the race, that's all that matters. And close behind, Sean McAuliffe, you know, a guy who loves his Porsches and knows Porsches quite well. You know, he's a driver that we know will put on a performance today, dropping down one place from grid start, but I think he'll be climbing through the lineup very soon. But make sure you guys all put the drivers that you are rooting for in the chat, and we'll make sure to keep our eyes on those drivers. Trent Walker running a 1:17.820. He is checking out, and we are on lap 3.
Yeah. Walco putting on a clinic. Yeah. And you see McAuliffe, though. McAuliffe's got pace. He is all over the bumper of that DJ Farr car. And look at that. Ian Barthelm's in the dark horse. A bold pick, bold livery. I like that Mustang. Looks good. I mean, hey, it's no Bavarian machine, but it looks fantastic on the track. Big, wide there through turn 6. Woof, man.
Sean McAuliffe looking to the outside as we head almost onto the back straight. That's a difficult place to make the move stick, but I've seen people do it before. So Sean McAuliffe a little eager to make the move, maybe not where I would set up a move just because you might pay the price setting up for the back straight, but seems as though he's been able to figure out he's going to get the inside by chance going into the downhill, and it'll be a race to see who is more comfortable braking later.
Yeah, he's definitely going to get his nose in there, man. That left-hander right there, that is the way to do it. Sean McAuliffe, textbook pass as he heads up the hill, under the bridge, turn 11, down the hill, turn 12. Do not lift. Keep your foot in it, Sean. That is fantastic.
Sean killed that. Sean definitely killed that.
Yeah. Hey, I tell you, man, there's a lot of, man, I just love watching these cars go around this track. It just, every corner, I'm just like, man, I remember something I saw at that corner before.
Yeah.
That was a textbook pass. Textbook pass. These GT3 cars are just hooked up here.
Yeah, for sure. And look how quickly he caught Brian. I mean, already on the back of Brian, within a second of him. Brian already struggling pretty early on in this race. Nick Del Campo looking like he almost checked out from Brian Hedian. So Brian's not looking good right now, headed backwards.
Yeah, I'll tell you, you were talking earlier about the big track out there at turn 7. That is a really dangerous place. A lot of guys drop those outside wheels, and it's very easy to get that left side of the car spooled up, and it will put you in the wall. It will teleport you into that wall on the inside real fast if you're not careful. Don't want to take too much curbing on the outside of turn 7.
Absolutely. As you see, Sean McAuliffe so close to Brian now. It's going to be a matter of time before he makes a move, unless Brian really locks in right now. Maybe he had a mistake last lap, because it looks like he's starting to build a little bit of a gap, but going into that downhill section, you never really know. Ian Barthelmess, as we were talking about before, just want to circle back here. That car looks insanely cool. I got to say, that Dark Horse looks sick. And that paint job too, you know, Barthelmess never miss when it comes to the paint jobs, and this is no exception. That thing looks absolutely sick.
It really does. I'll tell you, the Barthelmess, they are just, like you said, their livery game is strong. And by the way, I'm sure Melissa's watching. We're ready for you at the club tomorrow, Melissa. Can't wait to kick off the season. Yeah, the Barthelmess cars, they always really carry the day with the livery scheme. As Ian goes through turn 6 into turn 7, a lot of speed there in turn 6. A lot more banking there than a lot of people realize. A lot more speed to be carried through turn 6. You just have to make sure you get on the brakes before 7. There's Brian down the backstretch.
And Alex Schneider, once again, that JG Wentworth car, absolutely loves that paint job. We've seen it a few times this season, so we love to see it. Looks great, great tone, great color, and that Acura looks sick. I think that Brian needs to take some notes, because that Acura looks super cool.
Brian does have a lot to learn from these other racers. There's no doubt about it. But the kid's coming on strong. He's having a good season. You know, I mean, he's not doing so bad, but there is always room for improvement, no doubt.
Absolutely. James Davies, I'm pretty sure he is a new member joining the series. First race for him. So
it is his first race this season. And checking the leaderboard, I tell you what, it's tragic. I hate to see Brian Quealy, probably the most improved racer on the season. Brian Quealy not looking for the Hard Charger Award tonight, as he is already behind the wall. Hopefully his pit crew has got to work and really is getting his car ready for the second race. We're all open. But right now it's a Trent Walco clinic out there.
It certainly is. I got to say, it looks like Jordan Klein and Brian Quealy running into some issues early in the race. We'll jump back to that in a little bit here. Got to say, Alex Schneider catching up to William Farr, who seems as though he may have some damage on the front of that Porsche. Ian Barthelmess making it by him. Maybe having some connection issues, which is causing some issues for him. He's jumping all around the timing screen, so hopefully his internet figures itself out pretty quick, because Alex Schneider might have himself quite a task if the car is disappearing and then reappearing very quickly.
Yeah, exactly. That is not conducive to turning really quick laps.
No, not at all. But, you know, his sim is probably running perfectly fine right this second, so not too worried there. It's just going to be the bigger thing is, oh my God, like, is that James Davies into the back of Alex Schneider barely. You know, keeping it together, luckily not big enough contact to cause an issue, but James Davies looks like he's ready to make the move here.
Oh, definitely. He's making himself known. That JG Wentworth car definitely knows Davies is back there. And, hey, for one, I'm here for it, man. Through turn 6, great camera work here. Beautiful camera work. Excellent weather down in Flowery Branch, Georgia. Just a great time for racing here. The gold, I guarantee it's warmer there than it is in Monticello, New York right now.
I can't imagine. I know Monticello got some snow recently, which is absolutely insane. It was like 8 inches or something.
It was
Just crazy.
there was frozen precip in the air today. So
Really?
it was yeah, it's relentless, dude. Look at
Man,
these guys working the track here, working through the up the hill through 10A and B, down the hill, the most exciting corner in all of road racing, in my opinion. It really takes all of your willpower to come down that hill full throttle. Through turn one now. Great in-car action here. Up to turn two, eyes on that telephone pole, get it lined up, big on the brakes, eat a lot of curb through turn three,
that was a lot of
and
curb.
downhill through turn four into the S's.
Yeah, and the S's
Look
are a
at
place where you
this
can make or
camera.
break it too.
Big wide release here. You want to take all this curb on the right there. That's perfectly executed. Straddling the exit, headed to turn six. Less braking than you think you need here. More speed through there. And then line it up for a big brakes here. And then back to power off of seven.
Ooh, little wide there. Got a little
Don't be
out of hand.
early exit. I believe Davey's trying a little too hard there. Big early exit for him is going to really compromise his exit speed, which is going to crush his straightaway speed.
And you really got it locked in. You know exactly what you got to say. This really is your track. I feel like I have to pay for that session right there.
I've done 10. I don't even know how many laps I've done with this track. Those little colored squares on the bridge, I know them by heart. Dude, I wrecked on a pace lap here. I've done
Really?
everything you can do on this rack. I've done everything you can do
know
on
more
this
about the
racetrack.
story. We need to know more about
Oh, I
that
know
story.
you do. You gotta, I don't know, you gotta catch me out at Aspire or something for that. You gotta pay extra for that story. The wrecking on the pace lap, I'll tell you that some other day.
Sounds
So,
good.
but it is a true story. Totally a true story. Wrecked on a pace lap and broke the car. Like, didn't make the green.
Oh, like it was
One and
it was
only
like
time
a
that
shunt.
ever happened to me in my whole career.
Like it was done. The car was not driving anymore.
Car was done. Yeah, nothing like the view, nothing like the look on your pit crews faces when you're on a flatbed before the race goes green. I'm just gonna leave it there.
To be honest, that's impressive. That is genuinely impressive.
It is literally my most embarrassing moment. Did it once, never did it again.
I hope
And it
not.
did it at this track. Did it at this track.
What corner? I'm just like curious. I'm pretty sure the audience is curious as well.
Right here under the bridge, turn 11.
Oh,
Turn
really?
11, I was
Stop
way
light?
too far left, and I was in that grass right. I could explain the whole thing to you, but let's get back to some racing. Yeah, that's a true story, my friend. That
Well,
curbing, it tore me up that day. Up through turn one, over the hill to turn two.
Yeah, drivers trying to check out a little bit.
Yeah, Brian's doing a good job. Brian is doing a really good job of getting back in the game and holding off Sean McAuliffe. He's got that third podium spot nailed down right where he wants it. We've got about 7.5 minutes left to go in this race, and everybody's kind of gapped out right now.
Yeah, it
And we're
really
just
looks
being-
like Brian's struggling out of the corner quite a bit. It just takes him a second to kind of align the car and get going. He was at points catching up to Brian Hedian, but Nick Del Campo is just absolutely on one right now. You can hear the wind on coming off the back of his car, all that downforce as he's coming down the hill into the left-right. Right here, braking great, using a little bit of the curb on the outside to truly open it up, and then gets on throttle so well. Brian, take some notes. Yeah, love you, Brian. But man, I expect some more pace out of you than this.
Brutal. It is brutal here, man. Oh, it's the Brian Hedian show, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Brian's doing some good laps. I mean, he's holding down third. We'll give him that. But Nick Del Campo, and by the way, if you haven't noticed, we haven't had the camera on Trent Walco because he's in another zip code right now. He's in another area code and doing Trent Walco things.
You can only imagine what Trent's thinking about right now. Probably the Bush's beans that are his car's paint job, which I must say is quite the paint job to go with. I was not really expecting to see a Beans car today, but he insisted that I show it in today's stream. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Bush's Beans car.
The Bush's baked beans car. The nose of fury. I'll tell you what Trent's thinking about. He's thinking about what's his after dinner drink going to be when he gets back to Chateau Elan tonight, the
Hmm.
official hotel of all Road Atlanta racers. Be headed to Patty's Irish Pub outside of Chateau Elan for a homemade Irish cream. Not a bad way to cap off an evening after a winning campaign at Road Atlanta.
Wow.
Um,
Spot on. Cool. Taking
yeah,
notes.
yeah, I know every corner. I know every pub. So Trent Walco, Nick Del Campo, Brian Heady, 1, 2, 3. We've got Sean McCullough nailing down fourth, and our first Barthelm's entry in the Dark Horse car, BJ Farr and Alex Schneider. James Davies, new racer, in eighth place with Manny T holding down ninth, and Owen Barthelms in 10th. 10
Yeah.
cars on the lead lap, 10 cars in the race.
That's a clean. That's a clean Porsche. Love to see it, Owen. Oh, as we said, Barthelm's always killing it with the paint jobs. I mean, also looking back up the field, William Farr is putting in the work, creating the truly train, as they call it, with Alex Schneider and James Davies. They just can't do anything about it. He's just doing such a phenomenal job, really just locking in and hitting all of the apexes and just driving the car perfectly. And may not be the fastest car on track, but he's making sure that everyone else stays behind him.
Yeah. I mean, he is making them do the work. He's making them go the long way around, try the long way around. He's holding his position and making them work for it. I'm sure it's frustrating for Alex, and also I'm sure William Farr does not care
No, it
as
must
he
not. Oh,
disappears intermittently. Oh, there you
Alex
can see
Schneider.
that that is Alex's response to being frustrated right there.
And now
And
Alex
then
Schneider
James
having to
Davies.
defend.
Yeah, James Davies with a little of that medicine for Alex as well. These guys are duking it out with only 2.5 minutes left in this race. We've got time for a little over 2 laps, and we're going to be checkered flag in this thing.
Yeah, James Davies keeping it really calm and composed and kind of taking more of a consistent route. I can see that he's, not over driving the car by any means and sort of being very patient when it comes to Alex Schneider and his movements. As we saw, Schneider really trying to make the moves on William Farr, but sometimes catching himself out and driving off in certain places. So Alex Schneider trying to see if he can pick up the pieces when possibly things go wrong with Alex Schneider, but it seems as though Alex Schneider found his groove again. William Farr, phenomenal job defending. And talk about defending, Nick Del Campo may have to start defending a little bit. Brian Heady, it seems as though he may have figured it out. He probably heard my calls.
Yeah, it looks like Brian's actually going to try, which is amazing. And he is closing in on that giant Mercedes, which is going to be interesting.
Yeah,
Really tidy line through 1 there, up the hill to 2. I'll tell you, this track really, the elevation here is amazing. Heading up that hill to 2, it is just a complete blind rise. You're depending only on the visual references. You crest that hill and head down through the S's. It's really such a fun track to spectate at as well as drive. And Brian Hedian is locked in. I believe Hedian's coming for that second step on the podium.
I hope so.
Look at
I'd
this.
love to see it.
Camera work is amazing as always. Merck's going to stretch his legs here. This is where Hedian's at a disadvantage. Let's see if he can just maintain contact. He's got to get back to turn 1. That's got to be Hedian's goal. Maintain contact back to turn 1 and then attack through turn 6.
Ooh, a little fake move to the inside. Keep it calm and
like
composed. Get a good exit. It's going to be super important here. Looks like he made it work. And let's see if he can listen to you here going down into turn 1.
Yeah, that was a good show him the nose there in 10A. And now he's going to try to outbrake you. I'll be more tidy here on the inside right. Exactly. Hedian's got better grip here. He should be able to attack in just a few more seconds. On power now. Hedian headed down through the hill, down through the S's. Don't overdrive it though. Just be patient. He just can't quite. Nick Del Campo doing a great job. Don't take anything away from Del Campo.
Yeah, Nick Del Campo is definitely hitting his marks right now, and that's pretty much all he has to do to keep Brian Hedian behind. The only thing he can't do, knock on wood for him, I was gonna say make a mistake. That's the only thing he can't do right now. He may pay the price here. 4/10 off? Not really sure if he's gonna be able to reel it in, because I don't know why, but that NSX is slow, like actually slow.
Well, tell us what you really think, Dimitri.
I know. I really don't think that Brian's hitting the pedal all the way to the floor. I think you might want to check his.
Brian, it's the pedal on the right. Push the pedal on the right.
Brian, I actually have an extra set of pedals if you need. Double check that you're actually getting 100% throttle, because you only reeled in what 700s. Man,
we're on the white flag now. White flag in the air. Checkers next time by. Brian needs to go for it here. He needs to press here. Press this braking zone into 3. Get a bunch of curb there. Yeah, I'm sure Hedian will have a sharp retort for our commentary after this race.
Absolutely. I hope so, honestly.
I appreciate these fellas giving us some exciting racing, because Trent Walco, he did not deliver the excitement. Through turn 6, Trent Walco made this race a foregone conclusion like 10 minutes ago. So come on, boys. Let's have a race here into 10A.
Good exit from Brian Hedian, slowly chipping away at that gap, but I don't think it's enough. He's at 4/10, and it's just jumping back and forth. That straight line speed of that Mercedes is absolutely mental. Just not able to make it work, unfortunately. And Nick Del Campo looking at the second step on the podium, while Trent Walco has fun in the gravel. So we come down the hill. Nick Del Campo going to take the second step on the podium, and unfortunately, Brian Hedian, even after starting P2, will be ending up on the bottom step of the podium. Sean McAuliffe coming down the hill. Great drive from him too. Going to take P4. Ian Barthelm's not far behind in that dark horse Ford Mustang.
Listen, William here for the merchandise game. They're here for the merchandise game.
Oh, absolutely. William Farr, absolute master class of defending, keeping Alex Schneider behind him. James Davies keeping things consistent. I think there's 0 incident points for him. Taking P8. Manny Tartaglione coming through the final corner. Owen Barthelm's not far behind. Most cars on the lead. Pretty much all cars on the lead lap except for the cars out. As we come across the line with a spectacular crash there for Owen Barthelms, and that is our race. That was race 1.
Look at that scene right there. Look at that scene from the North Georgia mountains. That's fantastic.
Man, I think I need to
beautiful stuff there.
Yeah. Question, I must say, is what happened to Jordan Klein and Brian Quealy? That was a very good race for pretty much everyone involved, but it's very early on in the race. Yeah, you can see lap 14, lap 15, or 15 laps ago, 14 laps ago, Brian Quealy and Jordan Klein involved in some incident. But if we look back through our order, Trent Walco, 17 seconds. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do in 17 seconds. I'm pretty sure you can warm up a Hot Pocket in 17 seconds. Trent Walco just up the road, never to be seen again. Nick Del Campo and Brian Hedian keeping it close going across the line. I got to say, that was a fun thing to watch.
It really was. Clean race, good laps out of everybody. We need to dispatch our intern to the pit lane to find out what happened to Klein and Quealy. Other than that, great race out of all 10 people left on the lead lap at the end of that race. And I'm looking forward to a second race. I never get tired of watching laps at Road Atlanta. I can't wait for the second race.
Absolutely, and we'll be right back.
So, interesting development, I tell you, Demetra. We had a meeting with the drivers, and some drivers did not make it back to the grid in time. And even though Trent's supposed to be on the pole, he's being held by the stewards to the back of the field. So, this is going to put Sean McAuliffe and Ian Barthelmes on the front row. Double file restart down into 10A now. We're going to have some exciting racing as some of the faster cars are being held out of this starting grid, and we'll have to start from the back of the field.
Yeah, no, this is not a good look for Nick Del Campo, Trent Walko, Brian Hedium, James Davies. Looks like they must have gotten a little carried away by some of the food in the concession stands here at Road Atlanta. It must have been so good that they forgot to get in the car because they were not allowed to be on the formation lap. So as we are about to go green,
Sean McAuliffe leads them down the short chute, across the line, green flag, and that dark horse taking the wide line into turn one. But Sean McAuliffe tidy through one. The entire field is clean and lined up for turn two.
Absolutely.
Excellent start by all these drivers. And here comes the crew out of the pit lane. We'll see if Trent Walko can dice this field from the rear.
Absolutely. And as we look here, Trent Walko leading all of the cars out. James Davies not too far behind as well. They definitely have their work cut out for them. Not too far behind, luckily for them, so they didn't really get too much of the short end of the stick. So they caught right up to the pack, which is good. But the question is, how do you navigate the pack? We saw in the last race that lots of drivers were really struggling to find the places to make the moves and make them stick. But I think for our instructors, they'll show us a little bit of magic, if you will. I would not want to be Owen Barthelmes right now with Trent Walko in my mirrors.
This is going to be a traffic management race here for Del Campo and Walko. That Bush Baked Beans car looking amazing. Oh,
Manny Tartaglione backwards, and there's another car as well. It seems also backwards.
We got a little action here. Yeah, turn.
That's Nick Del Campo in the wall.
Wow.
Unlucky stuff for him. And that's Ian Barthelmes. It's Ian Barthelmes in pit lane. I think he was the one that spun open over crest.
Wow. Look how things can change in just a second between 10A and turn 12. Thank you, Road Atlanta.
Things
up
are
to the essence,
getting
Trent
dicey.
Walko still attacking the rear of the field.
Yeah, Trent Walko. Looks like there's a problem on our timing screen saying it's 2 laps down, so hopefully that sorts itself out. But Trent Walko slowly starting to clear the field and not too far behind. Brian Hedian doing the same. Sean McAuliffe still at the front of the pack taking a nap, it looks almost. But not too far behind is William Farr. He might as well call him Checo Perez the way that he defends. It's quite something. Alexander Schneider.
The Minister of Defense.
Minister of Defense, Alex Schneider, well familiar with the back of William Farr's car, but I know that he's probably going to want to make a move and make it stick. Probably sick of seeing the back of that Porsche. And Owen Barthelmes kind of killing it right now. Homie's just chilling as he comes across start finish. There we go. Timing tower starting to make a little more sense here as we head on to lap 4. I think it's 3.
Yeah, I think maybe timing got confused because what is going on? Because the boys that started from the pits didn't really technically cross the stripe. Maybe they didn't get credit for that first lap.
We got it. Now we're set right back in. There we go. Trent Walko. Where the heck is Brian Hedian? That's not Brian Hedian in front of him. That's for certain.
No, that is not. That is the Alex Schneider car.
I have on my screen here, Brian Hedian went off track, and I think he probably doesn't want me to click that button, and I will soon. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to watch Trent Walko make the move possibly on Alex Schneider. Let's take a look in car.
Definitely will get his nose down the inside. No doubt. Schneider will have to give him room. Excellent camera work. Watch these GT3s work wheel to wheel. And that chrome Bush's baked beans, roll that beautiful bean footage as he comes out of 11 down to 12. Trent Walko doing work in the baked bean machine.
Wow, it just makes you want to get an M4 and just wrap it in the bushes. Baked bean livery, because it just looks so good as he's moving through the pack. Next on the list is William Farr. But, you know, Ministry of Defense, I'm not really sure Trent Walker is going to have an easy pass here.
I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
It's about time Walco worked for something on this track today. So let's find out what's going to happen here. He's all over that rear. I'm going to get him. Oh, it's already over, my friend.
Down
I can
the
tell
inside,
you right now,
that's the place to be.
Over.
Easy move with now Sean McAuliffe. Last person on his radar
Trent's
to pass.
exit out of 5 was absolute textbook, and he used it to wedge Farr right to the wrong place, right where he did not want to be, and it was over before it got started.
Yeah, I mean, look, turn 5 is not an easy corner. I bet you can attest to that, especially to get it
Absolutely.
right. And even when you think you get it right and you go a little too aggressive, it will catch you out and you will be backwards in the wall. But Trent Walker just...
There's a lot of pain over there, right? So, man, I'm telling you, you have to straddle that curbing right. You have to make a decision about how much curbing you're going to get, because if you get the wheels on the paint at the wrong time, it can swap ends on you really quickly.
Absolutely. Looking a little further back, Brian Hedian, James Davies, and Owen Barthelme seem to be having a little bit of a battle here for P5. Nick Del Campo, I think he had another incident after the incident we watched, so about 9 seconds back of this pack, but hopefully able to keep his foot in it and keep it rolling. But Owen Barthelme's driving it so well right now, keeping these real good, talented drivers behind. Just shows you how much talent Owen Barthelme has as well.
Yeah, James Davies is a little wild with his line right now, to say the least. He's driving a track that I'm not exactly familiar with, but hey, kudos to the guy. He's out there. It's his first race night with us, and we're happy he's here. Speaking of instruction, if you want to get professional driving instruction, contact the concierge at Monticello Motor Club and book your session with Trent Walco or Brian Hedian today. And now Sean McAuliffe has a mirror full of bean.
That is a great way to describe it. Completely agree with you there. Sean McAuliffe really has his hands full right this second. You never know when Trent Walco is going to attack. He's calm and collected, but he is a killer. He is just somebody who, when you least expect it, he will be door to door with you and he will be right past you. And I can only imagine right this second, he's super calm, collected, patient, but man,
he has enough pace and enough grip. Like his move into turn 1 was just a feint to get into Sean's mirrors. It had no point whatsoever except just to make Sean think about stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I have no doubt that Trent's just playing with his food right now.
Yeah, and with someone like Trent Walco, even when he's tucked up so close behind another driver, you know for a fact that he just has it. He's just locked in and will always hit the apexes and will always have a super fast lap. And it's one of those things that it's just so scary to see in your mirrors because he's driving the track better than you. And it looks like Sean McAuliffe got a little light out of the right-hander there, but
that was
able to
interesting.
keep it
I
together.
thought Sean was waving him by, honestly.
That's kind of
I don't know what happened there.
Felt like. And William Farr taking advantage of this. Is Trenton having a problem? Did his brake pedal fall off like Max Verstappen?
Something really weird happened there. Sean was way to the right under the bridge, so much so that I thought he was just like releasing the pressure valve. But then something happened there. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. And then all of a sudden, William Farr is there again.
Yeah, I think there's a possibility that Trent may have got a little eager and couldn't see the track that well and could have possibly gotten it off track to the point where he had a penalty, a slowdown penalty that he had to serve real quick. Typically 5 seconds. Because it kind of makes sense because it looks like Sean McAuliffe may have had that issue coming out of the right-hander. But then right at the same time, Trent slams on the brakes as well. So Trent probably losing 5 seconds there, and that would make sense to be what would serve a time penalty.
Sure. I love it. Hey, listen, we're not even halfway through this race. I'm just happy for some good door-to-door, wheel-to-wheel racing. As Trent tucks it inside at 10A,
Ooh,
tries
contact.
to drag race up the hill.
Thrown into the
What happened there?
grass. That
Wow.
William Farr was not playing nice there, to put it simply. He showed Trent the grass, quite
He
honestly,
showed, yeah,
and
exactly.
Alex Schneider
Yeah.
able to take advantage of that situation to tuck up close behind Trent. He's going to get some real good beta on how to actually drive the track as fast as Trent, and hopefully then can catch up to William Farr and Sean McAuliffe, and we can make this a four-way fight for the lead.
Some awfully sharp elbows out there right now, my friends. I'm looking forward to seeing how Trent responds to Trent is going to have to be a little bit more deliberate, a little bit more focused on his pass here when he's trying to get around the Minister of Defense.
Absolutely. It's, as we said before, it's not an easy task, and we saw it right there. Trent Walco, such a talented driver, struggling to even make the move on William Farr. And when he did make the move, William Farr made him pay. We love to see it. We love to see drivers being tested and seeing how they respond to specific situations, because, you know, it's not easy. It's just truly not easy.
I believe William Farr having to serve a penalty right there. Did you see that?
Yeah, I think so. Looks like, unfortunately, William Farr having to move out of the way, making it a walk in the park for Trent Walco to get by. Personally, I'm going to have a talk with the stewards after the fact. I think that penalty was a little harsh. Personally, I would not have given him that penalty, but you know, what can you say? Sometimes you can't argue with authority.
There's no benefit to arguing with the chief steward. I'll tell you that, my friend.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he'd actually kick you out of the room and not let you take the stairs either.
So here we are, just past the halfway point, and it's back to being the Sean McAuliffe Trent Walco show. Schneider, though, now right back in his ancestral home, tucked up behind William Farr. So the storyline of this race: can Schneider get around Farr? Can Walco reel in Sean McAuliffe?
Absolutely, and it's one of those things, man. If I'm Alex Schneider, I'm just like, I'm sick of this. I can't keep looking at the back of this Porsche. I mean, hey, definitely a cool paint job. William, we'll give you credit for that, but man, at one point or another, you kind of want to start battling your way through. So hopefully we see something from Alex Schneider, maybe change up some of the tactics and make the move stick, because man, we'd love to see a good battle between the two of them. Also, looking a little further back, Manny Tartaglione and Owen Barthelms, both I think involved in some issues a little earlier in the race, but a good fight happening back here in P9. See Manny Tartaglione slowly reeling in Owen Barthelms, but Owen Barthelms getting the exits he needs to start to drive away from Manny Tartaglione on all these straightaways. So it'd be interesting to see where Manny tries to make the move. Maybe a little fake down here down the inside, both of them holding it quite towards the middle of the track, and Manny Tartaglione going a little wide there.
That is, yeah, a little wide. Excellent. You, as the master of understatement, Dimitro comes through with the clutch commentary. That Ferrari, I'm telling you, Manny in the road racing entertainment Ferrari, looking very Italian, but also very wide through two.
Absolutely. And as we see Trent Walco, Sean McAuliffe, this battle is heating up. We have 7 minutes left. I bet Sean McAuliffe is looking down at his systems and like, all right, 7 minutes, gotta figure out how to keep Trent behind. But it's one of those things, 7 minutes behind for Trent Walco, it's not usually what happens.
No, I bet Sean's wishing his clock would roll faster.
Absolutely. Oh man, it is getting close. You can see Trent all over the back of that Porsche. I mean, let's hop on board with him. He's just trying to find every inch and really getting in those mirrors. I would not want to be Sean McAuliffe right now, because so many technical parts of the tracks, this track, where if you mess it up, Trent will make you pay. Look at that defensive line here, going into 6 and 7.
Sean covering him off, making him go the long way. Excellent defense by Sean. Ooh. But man, Oh man, Trent just muscling his way in there. That does work in sim racing, I'll tell you.
Sean McAuliffe letting him know he's there. Small
Yeah,
little bumps
absolutely.
left and right. They're going to go side by side down the hill. Look at the contact. Oh my God. Both cars somehow staying on track. Trent, that was really far down the inside. Did you not get a 5-second time penalty there? But Sean McAuliffe not able to keep Trent behind. That was some phenomenal racing.
That was a spicy segment, buddy. I'll tell you, from turn 7 to turn 10A, those guys were on it.
Those
Wow.
micro bumps were truly something. Trent and and Sean just back and forth. Let's take another look at the pass itself, if we can see if this works. Yeah, look at this. Side by oh no, this is earlier in the session. My apologies. Trent Walko, Sean McAuliffe. There's just so many instances. Look at this. Trent in the grass. Trent is quite literally in the grass as we go up the hill. You can hear
Sean was trying everything to close it off, and Trent would not be denied.
That is just look at that. That contact at the end was massive before heading down into the left and right hander down the hill. That was some phenomenal racing.
Yeah, I believe that corner 7 really offended Sean McAuliffe's sensibilities. He was unhappy by the time they got to 10A.
And
but
again,
that was an amazing sequence there.
Totally. And Nick Del Campo and James Davies showing that they can do it too, side by side as they head down the hill. James Davies, if he can keep his nose in it, might be able to stay ahead as we go into the left and right hander. Hopefully, Nick Del Campo plays nice. It looks like he does, but James Davies goes a little too wide, touches the grass, and that completely unsettles the car. Oh my goodness, Ian Barthelms. It looks like he was caught out. Maybe.
No.
I don't think they made contact.
The dark horse. The dark horse.
Heartbreaking.
Oh, not great.
Yeah, looks like
Turn
Ian
11,
Barthelms
turn
just
12,
slightly got touched there.
Victims.
Yeah, I think there's a possibility that as Ian Barthelms was heading up the hill, look at that, last second, he just sees a Porsche on the outside. Looks like there's no contact, but it just completely caught him out, and there's just nothing you can do once that rotation starts.
Excellent, excellent camera work from our booth. You're right. That was also great hands from the Barthelms kid, really to save the dark horse because he had nowhere to go but offline inside to the hot pit. And man, that was just a tough set of circumstances for Ian there. No doubt though, he'll sell 10,000 more trucker hats off of the merch Taylor because all the Barthelms do is sell merch. It's their stock and trade, man. That's what the sexy livery is all about.
That is truly their forte, and I bet that moment, lots of Barthelms fans were probably gasping quite loudly in the crowd. I don't know if you guys heard that on the stream, but man, scary moments.
Oh, Melissa's on her feet for sure.
Absolutely.
So, 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go. Trent Walko's out front, 4 seconds clear of Sean. The Minister of Defense, William Farr, is in 3rd place. Alex Schneider in 4th. Brian Hedian in 5th. Nick Del Campo racing clean. That James Davies, by the way, you know, Davies put wheels down on the outside and kind of caused this. I mean, he's lucky they didn't collect Nick Del Campo, by the way. Del Campo very lucky to not get collected by Davies there in 10A or 10B.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. And as I'm talking about Davies, he gets it all wrong in the S's.
Incredibly unlucky. He was running good too. That car may need to be retired.
Happened there.
I think it's just that downhill section. He just got a little light in the rear. Let's take a look. Hop on board with him as he goes down the hill.
I think he got because his line is so much wider than it needs to be. A little stab of the brake right there, and there you go.
Man, incredibly
he put the car up on the nose and lost the rear end.
Man, super unfortunate stuff, and it looks like that is his race weekend done.
Meanwhile, Trent Walko Almost 6 seconds clear of second place now. I
Okay.
believe Walco will take the checkered flag next time by.
Absolutely. And
Maybe he
Sean,
might
he
be
might have
white
taken out.
flag. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Sean McAuliffe, William Farr actually catching up to Sean McAuliffe quite a bit here in the closing stages of the race. Don't think he'll have enough time to fully reel in Sean McAuliffe and make a move, but it's also quite interesting to look at the timing sheets. Sean McAuliffe and William Farr are running identical laps in 1:19:53. So I think William Farr has taken some notes out of Sean McAuliffe's book, just turning in from the middle of the track there, which is maybe a secret of William Farr's. As we go across the line, Trent Walker running the fastest lap. I genuinely can't tell if it's the end of the race or not, but we will be able to tell right here and now if they decide just to go straight on.
Yep.
Yeah, no, this is final lap. This is final lap.
All right, they're white flag right now. White flag's in the air. Final lap. Checkers next time by. Crowd's on its feet as Trent goes through turn 5. Big track out. Excellent track out there. Good paint management out of that Walco car. Into turn 6. Farr through 5.
Yeah. Question will be, will William Farr have an opportunity? Will Sean McAuliffe make a mistake? I hope I did not just jinx that. Oh, no, William Farr will make the mistake as he goes wide into out of turn 6 and into turn 7. Looks like he's having some connection issues himself. I think that kind of sets things as they are. Sean McAuliffe able to take that second spot on the podium. This was quite the race.
Yep,
there was a lot of action.
Yeah, exactly. This was a much better race than the much more action, and still the same result, right? Trent Walco gets it done across the line in first. Sean McAuliffe across the line second. I tell you what, kudos to all these drivers who got through these 2 races without incident. That is not an easy track to do it.
Oh my goodness, and they are creating quite the show. I've never seen a Porsche move like that. Alex Schneider joining the pack. Brian Hedian kind of having some fun on his own. Nick Del Campo not too far behind, coming across the line in P6. Good end for him. Looks like he wants to preserve his car. Lots of respect for that. Ian Barthelm's coming up and over the final crest into the final turn, taking P7. A little bit of an unfortunate race for him, but not too far behind. Owen Barthelm's able to keep Manny Tartaglione behind for the race, going up 2 positions from his starting spot. That is Owen Barthelm's up 2 positions from his starting spot, and keeping it calm and collected. Not sure he knows the race is over quite yet. No, I think he does now. I think he does.
Now he does.
Yeah, now he does.
Oh, man. Oh! He just wanted to get to that dark horse car and punt him. Absolutely. He totally did. Kudos to Owen for punting Ian over the concrete wall. That was fantastic. So much fun. It was really fun for me. I hope you guys enjoyed. Kudos to all these racers. What a great night. Thanks to Mitro for excellent camera work and commentary. Always. What a great fun night.
Yeah, no, great night. Great night of racing. And there's one more race in the season. I can't believe it. It's happened so quick.
I know, right? We're almost there because tomorrow we're going to have real race cars on the pavement at the club in real life. So, guys, it is time. The club is open. Come on out to Monticello Motorsports, Monticello Motor Club, and let's have some fun on the real pavement. Can't wait to see you at the club. We're going to have a great season. Thanks for watching the race tonight, and we'll see you guys soon. One more race to go. I think it's 2 weeks from now, right?
That is spot on. On April 30th at 8:30, we will be having the championship race at Laguna Seca in MX5. So a track and car combo that these drivers are familiar with, and it will be interesting to see how the season ends up.
A lot of people within striking distance of the championship. So join us in 2 weeks for an exciting night at Laguna Seca. Thanks, everybody.